Okay guys, here we are in the kitchen. So we're gonna start with our heirloom tomato salad, and it's sort of a panzanella, which is Italian for bread salad. So we have some beautiful sourdough bread, we have some heirloom tomatoes. If you take a look, these are the rest of the ingredients here. So we got our bread, our tomatoes, some purple basil, some cucumbers, some Castelveltrona olives, arugula. This is our blend of chopped thyme and parsley. And then we have our house-made bacon jam. We really like to highlight the tomatoes at the peak of their season. So we have these beautiful heirloom tomatoes. And it's really about the tomatoes and the bread. And ultimately this ends up tasting like a BLT salad. So here we go. We're gonna start by toasting our bread first. So we're gonna hit it with a little bit of olive oil on both sides. I really like to saturate this bread. It sort of becomes more than just a crouton at that point. We're really treating the bread as the main ingredient here. So we're gonna season it on both sides with salt and pepper. And then we're just gonna toast this in a hot pan. I've got this pan preheating. What you're looking for here is just the first indication of smoke coming off of this pan. That's going to let you know that the pan's hot enough. And what we're looking for is actually some char on this bread. That's also going to add some of the flavor, that sort of barbecue backdoor sort of salad. So we need the pan to be really hot. While that's getting hot, guys, I'm just going to start cutting these tomatoes. We have a variety of tomatoes here. We have some yellow cherry tomatoes, some sweet 100 red tomatoes. These are what are called Cherokee heirloom tomatoes. And I like the salad to look really rustic and sort of natural. So what we're gonna do is just kind of cut different shapes and sizes off the sides of this core here. Okay. Usually I look for a lot of consistency in knife cuts, but in this salad, I'm really looking for a lot of random sort of sizes. So we have those. We'll take some of these cherry tomatoes and just cut in half. We might even leave a couple of these sweet 100s whole. Okay. Angled cuts sort of add some intrigue. Just like that. We're gonna put all these in the bowl. We're gonna start by marinating these sort of initially, really just to get them sort of softened up and sort of marinated. I'm gonna add some of those herb blends that we have, a little bit of olive oil, and a little bit of pepper. We're gonna let that just kind of hang out there while we toast our bread. All right, so my pan is ready to go. That's what you're looking for, that nice sort of smoke. Some of that char is going to happen. You can also just do your bread in the toaster and sort of set the sort of the power level on high if you like. If you look here, this is what we're looking for, is that sort of kind of deep golden brown. Again, extra flavor, extra texture, all those things. I'm just gonna keep cutting my tomatoes. We actually don't refrigerate our tomatoes. It's sort of a little restaurant trick. When you refrigerate a tomato, it starts to get really mealy. And in this case, we keep them sort of at room temperature, and it really helps with the texture. They never go through that sort of frost, so they end up eating really more juicy and more plump. So I suggest that at home. Okay. Our bread is looking really nice now. Good color. See, that looks great right there. That's what we're looking for. So we're going to take that out. And now it's just about putting this all together. So we're going to take our tomatoes. We're going to add our Persian cucumbers, our olives, a little bit more herbs, our arugula, and then we're going to take some of this purple basil and just sort of tear it apart. Again, very rustic. It's the name of this game. Same thing with the sourdough bread. On the menu, it actually says torn sourdough. So we're just going to sort of, again, panzanella is a bread salad, so we're just trying to highlight that. Big bite-sized pieces. And the last thing we're going to do is just toss this with a little bit of red wine vinegar, a little bit more olive oil. Get in there with your hands. So hot. And then we're just going to start sort of constructing this salad, okay? So to get a lot of height on this salad, instead of getting a big handful and putting it on the plate, we're actually going to start with a small one, sort of like baseball size. I just do that a couple of times, and that's really how you're going to get a little bit more height out of your salads. Really want to see a nice variety of the ingredients. Really good for summertime. Okay. Few of these leaves here and there. Some more bread. And then we're going to finish this off with just sprinkling our bacon jam right on top. Wipe the plates. Right there. And then again, just sort of poke some of our purple basil around. And there you go. It's our heirloom tomato panzanella with cucumbers, olives, bacon jam, arugula, and purple basil.